Tracy LeBlanc.
Here.
Doug Rowdy.
Here.
Pam Garvey.
Here.
And Justin Wood.
Here.
Here today.
Approval of the minutes. That's the agenda for.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Yes. Your second.
I'll second.
Anybody see any changes? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Minutes from the August 6th meeting that was in our packet.
I make a motion to approve.
Okay. Is there a second? Doug? Hearing no changes, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same, okay. Anyone here for public comment? But he's here for the public hearings. All right. We have no other. 6, we don't have another supervisor, so we're good. Let's jump right to number 7 then.
Oh, all right, thanks.
All right. So this is actually a timber sale that sold in 24. There's a different name now than the one that originally sold, but to backstep, Roger Hoyt bought this on direct sale. We had no bid in 2024. So he bought it direct after the sealed bids were all opened and nobody bid on it. He has requested to be removed from the contract. He just shattered his leg completely, or both bones, had a tree buck back on him, and he'll be out for a while. We have a performance bond for all of our sales. Generally, we don't let people out unless it's extreme circumstances. I would think that you guys would be okay, but I thought I'd bring it to you guys to see if it's okay to let him out of the contract. I think his bond was just over $1,000. So he was looking to be separated from the contract. He did line up a different contractor that was willing to buy it and looked at it. North Central Logging, very good, reputable company. They said if we got approval, they would sign it and send us a new bond. The committee has approval to sell direct sales less than 500 cord equivalent or less than $10,000 sale total. So you guys have the authority to not have sealed bids for this sale. So we could just cancel the contract with Roger and then just do approval of a direct sale with North Central Logging for that amount. That was the minimum amount in 2024. Didn't have a bid. We just kept the same price, and I told the contractor we would keep the same price as that minimum amount. So it would just be a direct sale to North Central.
Do we need a motion for that?
We would, yeah. It'd be good to have it in the minutes.
I'll make a motion that we,
Trying to see if there's any
Who's that?
questions first.
The value amount would be.
well, don't you have to have a motion first?
Well, we can see if there's any questions.
Yeah, is there any questions on the bond or
Bond or anything.
we can retain it. We have the rights to retain it if they cannot fulfill a contract. I would say the cleanest way to do a new to have a subcontractor is to actually resell it to somebody else. Technically, they're not supposed to be working subcontractor under a subcontractor because Roger would have to retain his insurance and his bond for the sale. So my guess is he's going to push back a little bit if we don't give him his bond back, and it'll probably end up still being under him. Is
Sure.
my thought.
Okay.
It's fairly easy to it's a letter of credit with the bank. So I would just send a letter to the bank saying it's closed and the fulfillment's been met because the contract is closed. So, it's kind of up to you guys if you want to do with the bond or we just close it and we just get a new bond.
Do it easier. All right.
So
Now, is there any questions? If not, you could do a motion.
a motion would be good to have the value to the
I'll make a motion.
6,840.
Well, do we have to have two separate motions?
You can have it.
Okay, or one?
I think one would be good, just to have the logging contractor's name I guess the motion would be to approve the sale to North Central Logging for that value amount. If that makes sense.
And then the background stuff you can do.
Okay,
I have the authority to, under our contract as the sale administrator, I have the authority to do all the bond stuff and
okay.
resell it or re-put it into the state system. So I can do all that between me and Paul.
So I'll make a motion to resell it for $6,840 to this new
North Central Logging.
whatever.
Or central log.
Yeah.
Okay,
Got it.
all right. Do we have a second? Second from Doug. Any other questions or anything? It's pretty, he can take care of it, I think, so. And all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that one moves on. Thank you.
Thank you.
So. Have to wait till 9:30.
For the rest.
Budget review, or do we, is that long, short, sweet?
That's pretty short and sweet.
Okay, that'll fit.
Absolutely.
Okay,
And we'll get some other stuff done too.
all right.
Preliminary plat. We could maybe do the preliminary plat too. here.
September is the start of the budget kickoff with committees and stuff, so just like slides, typically with the committees, we go over the extra funding requests. Those are above and beyond what the normal operations are in the departments. This year, we had over $6 million in extra funding requests. Naturally, I can't, nor can we fund all those, so I have to go through and these are the ones that I approved at this point for this committee. A couple of them, and if you have questions on them, I can let you know. Land information, one capital one, this is a update for one of the fabric parcels that tie into next gen 911, the taxes and all that. It makes the system smart in there. So that's a technical upgrade for that parcel fabric under.
Can't we put that with IT?
What's that?
Can't we put that with IT?
They'll just turn around and
What's that?
they'll just turn around and charge right back. So
Okay.
we're gonna take care of on this one. Operating personnel was the LTEs there for $10,000 for their intern funding. They help with the I believe the watershed stuff on that one. Land and water resources. This one here is, right now we have an engineering conservatives analyst. He's going for his engineering degree. And this opens it up that once he gets his degree, that we can utilize that degree and keep him on staff. So it'd be a slight bump on him moving to a next grade on that. So to get his degree, to keep him there, to utilize that position. ROD has a media conversion project that's ongoing, and this gets us a little further down the road with the $18,000 on that. So those are the four that were approved for this committee. I asked staff, Sarah, to look at the highs and lows to see what changed in there. Most divisions are pretty status quo for operation costs, with the exception of probably health and human services. That has the biggest impacts on what happened with the budgets. But I can, if you have questions on what I presented, the full budget will be at county board proposal, going through the draft budget book. And then the recycling fees going back to Gen Gov. With that, we took a look at the value of the parcels and stuff to see what we can eliminate, what number that would work at, whether it was $25,000, $45,000, or even $50,000. So we'd be coming with that. Right now, we're able to eliminate about 2,000 parcels. So and still keep our fee where we need to keep operations moving with that system. So. You have questions of me? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I just have a question about the upgrade for the environmental engineer.
Yep.
So I appreciate the fact that if they're gaining education to do better, but is their job position actually changing?
We'd rewrite the job description on that. We'd be not gaining an FTE, so it would be losing the analyst side of it and going to an engineer side of that.
Right, but
When we lost.
what does that look like as far as practical, like the job they do? Are they suddenly, not suddenly, I don't mean that sounds, but are they then doing more? Or is there more things that they're doing that before we had to hire out? Kind of, what does that look like is my
I can answer a
question.
little bit of that and I can turn it to Sarah too, but I believe it gives us more ability to do plan reviews.
Okay.
A little more of the design with our manure pits. Even as permits come in from the zoning side now, we can utilize that sign off from an engineer on some of those permits. So he'll be doing more work and more value to the county.
Can speak to it a little bit more, but Mo's exactly right. You know, we have this individual in reviewing engineered plans by professional engineers, so there would be a little more credibility if we had a engineer reviewing those plans. And it would allow this position to have a little bit more flexibility in signing off on more complex engineering projects. If we're tasked to do a boat ramp for a town, or, you know, something that is more complex that our supervising engineers at ADCAP won't sign off on, this would allow us to do that ourselves.
Okay, so then he would actually have the ability to sign off on certain projects where right now that person doesn't, and you're looking elsewhere to get engineering sign offs.
Yep. Right now, as a conservation engineering technician or conservation engineering analyst, they work under the state engineer's professional
Okay,
engineering license. So we have a job approval system to where, you know, we're able to design projects, but we have to send off those designs for construction approval.
sure.
And this would not necessarily eliminate that requirement, because when we're working under the state engineer's license, we still have to have review. But for some projects that aren't cost shareable or aren't under Department of Ag programming, we would be able to design and sign off on those ourselves. And that includes, you know, boat ramp design, some, you know, stormwater type features, you know, things like that.
All right, super. Thank you.
Could even provide assistance to the highway and some of their
Okay,
roadway culvert, you know, design and things like that. So, but yeah, this individual is very close to achieving his professional engineering license in the civil category. So we want to make sure that we're identifying that and keeping him here to utilize his skill set.
sure, to be able to absolutely utilize it to the benefit of the department and the county. Cool, thank you. All right.
You can have, Sarah can do some highs and lows if you want to hear some of the updates on just what the budget's doing with the statewide fund.
I think, like most stated, we're pretty status quo. The highs are the fact that DADCAP increased the staffing grant. You know, thanks to the committee for doing the resolution of support, helped to champion the effort. That increased our staffing level by over 55,000. So that's a high for the department. There are a couple other grants that are being squeezed a little bit down, but you know, like the swarm funding for conservation practices declined lately. The request was 50,000 and we got 46.8. So I guess I'll take the high over the low as far as DADCAP goes. And then, yeah, I mean, otherwise we're fairly status quo. Being able to put some of those foundational element requirements for like parcel fabric into the CIP is helpful for the environmental services budget. Any questions? I mean, it's
What was that total again? No.
for the
Yeah,
AFR.
For the four,
37.
37 something.
See here.
145.
145.
Actually, it's a little less than that, 136.
136.
Yeah, approximately.
136, okay.
Yeah.
All right, any other questions on the budget? Because we have the fee schedule, all that's already done. So Number 10, do we have, is that just an update?
Yeah, it is more of just an update.
Okay.
So I have everything updated that we've gone over. Now everything's kind of out of format again after adding and subtracting everything. So now all the A's and B's and ones and twos are, need to be addressed. So I didn't want to hand that to you guys and it'd be more confusing than it would help you guys. So I've made it through those corrections. There's still a couple things to go over with Sue and a couple more that as I went through and changed, that questions came up to me for her. So I still have to do that. But otherwise, still working through it, at this point, so.
Okay,
We had a chance to meet Sue
yes.
on the
Lot-
workshop. She didn't have any time for us. Zero, hello.
Did you say you're from Polk County or what?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah, we did. That was it.
I'll get back to you.
Yep, I'll get back.
She was
to you.
gone,
Gone.
wasn't she?
She was
A
gone.
quick comment on that update too is before if something is passed out to you, I just want to be sure that to just announce that it will also be included in the packet so that everyone can see it. I know that was a concern previously, making sure that the constituents and, anybody that's interested in the process, they can see it as well with you. So it will be attached through the packet with Logan at all, because there's some need for some corp counsel and maybe even some additional planning help. So it'll be attached in the packet.
But when that gets close, we'll get it a week or so ahead.
Yes, that's what I'm
And we'll
saying.
have to have another
Yes.
sit down meeting or maybe just one meeting just with that, not be distracted.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as going through some of these other changes, I'm seeing some other areas that may be conflicting with how they interact with the general ordinance. So there's some more that I think we should get ironed out now rather than just do it and then still have issues
Still have
on the
issues.
back end. So
No.
there's a couple things that I want to go over with our corporation council just to make sure things are lining up together.
Okay,
Still that going from 2 to 1 intermingled has been a little bit of a challenge, so.
yeah. Okay,
Do you want to try to go through the preliminary plat?
sure. We got 12 minutes.
I'm just trying to, for Mike and Ryan over there, they might be.
Can you do it in 12? Here we go. Let's try it. First we can do is stop and start over.
So Logan will,
Huh.
Yeah, no,
Logan can get it started and then.
Yeah.
This is our first preliminary plat in some years. As far as a major subdivision in Polk County, this
Been a
was
while,
the town of.
you can
Lincoln.
pull up the subdivision file, or I think it's under Trailside Terrace. Or with the actual plat itself, the third one down.
I don't think we got that map.
We didn't.
So this was a proposed major subdivision in the town of Lincoln.
You want a hard copy?
Yeah, we got.
We should have. Do you have extra?
Yeah.
That really don't, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Oh, it's big.
I couldn't read that up there.
I couldn't believe.
Oh. All right,
So it's proposed to have 6 lots on this parcel, the existing parcel. I don't remember exactly how many acres it was. If Claire, could you pull up the GIS on this one by chance, please?
10.24 acres was the original. So on the GIS.
Ah, that's all right. So it's a 10.24 acre parcel. It is zoned residential. So that's why they're able to split it up 6, ranging from 1.55 acres to 1.89 acres. It is a county plat, and maybe I'll let Ed speak on that. It's a county plat because the lots are,
They're above the acre and a half. If it was 4 lots of acre and a half below, then it would have to go to state. Being that they're above that acre and a half, it's just a county plat, doesn't have to go to state for review. It's just, the review is just on us.
Just, okay.
so we, the land information team reviewed this plat. I do have an evaluation in that file folder. So this is the document that I drafted as far as our preliminary plat evaluation. So it reads, the Polk County Land Information Department submits this preliminary review of the preliminary plat for the Trailside Terrace, a county plat subdivision. The Land Information Office reviewed the subdivision and found it to meet the requirements of chapter 236.12 of the Wisconsin statutes and all of the design standards in 32-68, should say, of the Polk County Code of Ordinance, except for the required soil testing to be completed on the lots to confirm adequate loading rates. The town of Lincoln has the option to waive the requirement for soil testing, but they need to indicate that on the checklist. The Land and Water Resources Department has reviewed, I'm editing, has determined that a stormwater management plan will not be required to satisfy ordinance requirements. A letter is on file stating the exemption and approved the stormwater and erosion control plan for this subdivision. I am recommending approval of this preliminary plat to return to the town for final review, completed town checklist and signature. Then the plat of Trailside Terrace will return to the Land Information Office for final committee approval and county signature. So that's the process laid out in our ordinance as it comes to the committee for preliminary approval. If you guys have any other suggestions that need to be changed, it then goes back and then comes back for final approval to the committee as well. The town checklist that goes to the town was pretty much all left blank. There is a checkbox on there that they can say they don't want to see it again, but being it was all left blank, I think we should send it back there since they didn't check if they did or didn't want it back. And then also the soil testing, they can say they don't require those lots to be tested to make sure there's a 0.5 loading rate or greater, but they didn't check that either. So I think that would be beneficial to get them to complete that checklist to fulfill those requirements.
On the map then, did the highway department, because it is a county road,
On both sides.
Both sides, C and F.
I know I had contacted the county and got pre-approval of driveway locations for my understanding.
okay,
Got an email from. That.
got approvals on these? Cause is there shared driveways like 4 and 5 or
Yeah,
anything?
yeah, 4 and 5 would share, 2 and 3 would share, and all those hashed areas of easement or access easements. Those are all the proper section
Okay,
based on the speeds.
That's why those 1 and 2 are shared there and 4 and 5 are shared to make that separation from that intersection.
From the intersection.
Yeah, that was their main,
Yeah.
that was Josh's main issue, to make sure those, we're far enough down, so sharing those would make that work.
eliminate that extra driveway.
Yeah.
Stick it out.
So they're not too close to the intersection.
So that's on there. So can we just put they have to do, well, if they build that, they gotta do their own storm on each lot.
Their own,
Their own storm and silt fence and anything with they'd have to do it on their each lot for a building permit. So that, I don't think we have to,
Stormwater
Put
and
that
erosion control, is that what you're?
yeah.
Underneath their land use.
When they,
yeah, I mean, it's not in the shoreland area, so, and Karsten looked at it from their side of a stormwater and erosion control, and I think some of the comments were that a lot of it's internally drained and everything, so he doesn't see any reason for a,
troubles with it,
Yeah.
okay. Anyone see anything else that they can think of? There was no disputes on lot lines or anything? And of course, the trail is there. That's not disputed, that lot line.
No, it's all good.
You sure?
I'll go check later.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. And that's a good idea, doing the driveways together.
My opinion on the soil testing is buyer beware. Because the county does let you have holding tanks, so it would. Most of the time you do a soil test, they put the house right on top of it, so you have to do it twice. So it's kind of a waste of time and money until they actually have a site where they want to build. And they're pretty good sized and they can be closer. What do you have, a 20-foot setback on the back?
Should be
Setback?
25, I would believe.
25 in the back and 10 on the sides.
Okay. No utility easement, so they should just stay within. I mean, there's no utilities down that trail back there, was it, that cuts across? There wasn't any back there, okay. No, I think doing them twice just is a mess a lot of times. All right, anybody else see anything else? Well, then I'll entertain a motion to move this on. So we do want with the town to at least fill their
Yeah.
not just sign a blank piece of paper and send it back.
Because as far as the ordinance currently requiring those soil testing, showing the loading rates 0.5 or greater, I'm not sure if the committee can just waive that, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
We can
I think
ask
it has to
the
be
township.
the
can
town,
do it,
yeah.
So we should ask them to do it, just to save paperwork. All right. Entertain a motion to move it on,
I'll make a motion to move it on to
to move it on,
our recommendation.
the recommendations that we stated.
Yep.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second it.
Second. Okay. All right, all those in favor then say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So this won't make it to this month's board meeting, will it?
I don't believe so.
Be the next month.
Lincoln meeting is in two.
Oh, Lincoln, no, they just published their
Agenda.
agenda in the newspaper the other day, so
Yeah,
next Wednesday.
so it'll need to go to Lincoln and then come back to us and then, so it'll likely be on the October.
But if the Lincoln board fills that checklist out and signs it in the back and
Or if their planning commission does. I don't know if the board has to do it or their plan commission, which
I think it
one?
says town board on it.
Does it say
I
town
mean,
board?
they've signed it. They just
Signed
didn't-
it once.
they
They
didn't
fill it out.
So, and they didn't have any issues with, I mean,
You can list
they
them.
weren't worried about anything, so.
We have corp council right on the corner. What do you think?
Still list them.
You were getting out here without anything today.
I don't know what their notice requirements are. I don't know what they need to do, but once they do whatever they need to do, the question is, will we get confirmation that they've accomplished what they need to in time for us to get it on the agenda? That's really what
Okay.
it comes down to. So not gonna opine on their notice requirements or their hearing requirements, but if they do what they need to and get it
So if
back
they fill that out,
before we can get the agenda done, then
then you're
it's
talking
fine.
the agenda for the full county board in 2 weeks. Or does it come back to this
it
committee?
has to come back here for the final
This committee, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, in a month.
in a month. But then if they have that signed and ready to go, then it'll go to the full board that in October. Or September, October, yeah.
Yeah, because your next meeting will be October 3rd, I
Yep.
think, that first Wednesday of October. But I would think with the preliminary plat, if you, with the approval of the preliminary plat from Lincoln, are you looking at like moving on with business? Like, so you can
Yeah.
list those? Yeah, why don't we have a discussion offline about that, Ryan?
Okay.
Go be fine.
All right. We voted. Yeah, no. Yes, we voted on.
Yeah, move it on.
All right,
Okay, 9:32. Good job, Chair.
that worked out about right.
Your public hearings.
Let's go in order, so then we'll do, Matheson will go first. On the farmland. Did we vote?
Yeah.
Did I have everybody vote?
I don't think we did, Kim.
I don't think so.
That's what I thought we did. Let's, because we had a second, didn't we?
You did?
Yes, it was Sharon and Tracy.
Okay, all those in favor then say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Then we're safe. If we did it twice, we did it. Yeah, I kind of got too much at a time. All right, let's read this one in.
Alrighty, John Mattson requests a district change from Preservation A3 to Residential Agricultural 5, RA5, for an area 282 feet by 773 feet located at 35 280th Avenue in Section 12, Town 36 North, Range 15 West, Town of McKinley. Parcel number 038-00286-0000, and the parcel is 40.43 acres. So the parcel is up here on the map. Claire, if you could please turn on the zoning district on the side, just to show kind of the surrounding area. So this is the parcel that's requesting to rezone. As you can see, around the parcel is all zoned residential agricultural 5. Parcel is within the shoreland area. And then if we could jump quick to a different document that states, so there are specific requirements in order to be able to rezone something out of farmland preservation, which is right here in the ordinance itself. If you could scroll down.
Yeah, we're gonna have to bring.
I don't know why that showed up.
Go like this. This is what Heidi does on AGT.
So rezoning land out of farmland preservation zoning district. And the part of the ordinance that we are referencing here would be under 2 here. If you can scroll down, so G2, and then, sorry, a little bit more. I think it's probably on the next page. There you go. So a rezoning that makes the farmland preservation zoning ordinance map more consistent with the county farmland preservation plan map certified under Wisconsin statute chapter 91, which is in effect at the time of the rezoning. So as you guys are probably aware, we do have our newest county farmland preservation plan map, which we can pull that up as well to show you what that looks like. Yeah, right there. So I have highlighted the parcel that is proposed to be rezoned. The key down here, the green is farmland preservation areas per that map or the plan map. And then the areas in white are not recommended for preservation. So as you can see, this parcel is not part of the what was determined as a farmland preservation area when that map was, or plan map was created. So they do fulfill that section of the ordinance. If you could pull up that rezone findings document, please.
It's farmland.
Second from the bottom.
Not part of the map.
Right, I don't understand.
Can you clarify that a little bit, Logan?
That's the tough one. Yeah, it's not on there.
It's farmland preservation, but it's not part of the map.
So it's zoned farmland preservation. It's not part of the farmland preservation plan map. So a part of the plan that was approved in 2024, this parcel was not part of, or didn't meet the criteria to be farmland preservation or deemed farmland preservation.
I can speak on that.
Yeah, have,
About the process, okay? So
yeah.
Department of Ag, when designated farmland preservation area, wants an objective process to select parcels. And a lot of times it was, you know, landscape feature factors like soils, slope, landscape features. And so it was weighted on a land evaluation site assessment tool. And in the criteria that was chosen in this last revision, this particular parcel didn't meet the minimum requirements for land to be preserved through farmland preservation. So it didn't make the cut, so to speak. And that's why the future farmland preservation plan doesn't identify it as agricultural land to be preserved. So that's why it's out. Previously, it was zoned farmland preservation. In a previous plan, it was designated as agricultural lands to be preserved. But in this last evaluation, that was not as inclusive as the prior plan update in 2014. This parcel didn't make the cut. So it's important to note that this particular parcel is probably in the neighborhood of 30 to 40% muck soils, Sealyville or Cathro muck. And the agricultural land that's there is, you know, marginal. So I'm guessing that, or I'm fairly certain that the soils are what threw this out of the criteria, so it didn't make farmland preservation area. Now, it's important to note that, and you've experienced this before, that, you know, rezones out of farmland preservation are difficult because most times those parcels coincide with an area that has been designated for agricultural preservation. So this is a bit of an outlier that it did not make the cut and it's not planned for future agricultural preservation. So hopefully that explains it. And this last plan update, I'll summarize as not as inclusive for farmland preservation area as the 2014 plan update.
But anything that was deemed, like this particular one, there's others out there, I'm sure then too, that are in farmland reservation, but they really shouldn't be anymore.
Well, I wouldn't say they shouldn't be. They may be in farmland preservation zoning. They just didn't get identified as
Yeah.
farmland
Yeah.
preservation area.
Okay.
Because of their landscape features. So, I haven't done a review of how many areas like that exist, but after this, I plan to. I was a bit surprised to see that this one was not planned for farmland preservation area, but looking back at the criteria and the soils, that's why.
So just curious, who sets the criteria?
So it's a planning effort between staff and West Central Regional Planning. It's actually an objective criteria that we're only choosing select options that can be evaluated, and then it gets run through a model and a numerical identifier is applied to each parcel. So
Scored out.
it's the best way I can describe it is these parcels are run through an equation.
And they get scored out.
And then the answer is a numerical value that a citizen advisory committee set the threshold on. So I think the number was 23, and that doesn't mean anything to you, but a number less than 23 is more inclusive. A number more than 23 is less inclusive in land area. because as higher point values are identified, there's more suitable agricultural land identified there. So I can share with you sometime the criteria, but it was landscape features, shoreland area, slopes, proximity to municipal areas, things like that. It's a fairly extensive list.
Sure.
Evaluating these parcels.
Thank you, because I don't need the details. It's just a matter of, I know farmland preservation originally was a state, Wisconsin state program. But then it does, some of these maps though are actually a little more locally controlled as far as those features and those scoring.
The state program, chapter 91, requires all counties to do a farmland preservation
do a plan.
And that's where the program is based from,
Right.
essentially.
And that's probably why the regional planning commissions are involved in it.
Sure.
Yeah, they have the tools to do this land evaluation site assessment model for us. And so we contracted with them. But the criteria for that process is objective. It's not staff or West Central Regional Planning picking and choosing parcels. It's a numerical rank, and a committee sets the point at which, parcels are in or out. And then they go ahead and run that model to identify the parcels that are suitable and those that are not.
Sure.
So in that program, do you get a tax break on that or anything?
Well, if
It's in there or not, I guess.
answer to that, the short answer is yes.
Okay.
But the program has been revised and updated since 2010. And the consistency piece that reads in our ordinance is important. Department of Ag requires the farmland preservation zoning area in each town to be substantially consistent with the farmland preservation plan area.
Sure.
And when they're saying substantially consistent, it means like 80% consistent. So for the town of McKinley, 80% of this green area would need to be farmland preservation zoning to be deemed consistent.
Okay.
Maps. We don't have that.
No.
Okay. So because our zoning districts for farmland preservation, that area, land area countywide is very small. And our farmland preservation area is much larger. We don't meet that 80% consistency criteria. So at this point, those people that are in farmland preservation zoning are not eligible to collect because our farmland preservation zoning area has been decertified by DADCAP because
we don't have enough.
We don't have enough. So essentially, in other words, to meet that consistency piece, people should be rezoning to farmland preservation, not zoning out of, but that's the nature of our county, and it's not, farmland preservation zoning has not been well received. There is another way to collect the tax benefits associated with this program, and it would be through a contract. And an agriculture enterprise area would need to be petitioned to have a petition to the state would need to happen from the local agricultural community to make those agreements.
To make that part work.
Eligible, yeah, which we do have one ag enterprise area, and there are agreements there, but that's essentially the only way to take advantage of the program benefits at this point in our county.
Okay. Doug, you got a question?
I was just gonna ask you, at sometime in the future, it seems like this is, to me, it's a complicated thing because we did one on 48.
Yep.
And we ended up having, he had to end up trading some land.
Yep.
So it's, how does it, when you're in your green map, if they weren't under this, they didn't qualify it, then I tried to look it up online, but how do they get out of there?
So in that particular case, they had the benefit of more acreage that they could trade. And our objective here at the county is to try and maintain consistency with those maps, right? So maintain as much farmland preservation area as we can. That in that case, that parcel was designated green.
Right.
For farmland preservation area. So since it met the criteria for farmland preservation area and it was zoned, it should be difficult to get out of it. Because the objective is to preserve farmland and rural character and all of that. That particular individual had the benefit of trading acreage and they were willing to do that. So, and we might have even gained some acreage on the farmland preservation area on that one.
Yeah.
In this case, we don't have as much of an argument to keep this in farmland preservation zoning because it's not listed as farmland preservation area in this map because of its site suitability, so to speak.
So to clean that whole 40 up, would it be good to do the whole 40 into R5?
And that would be an option.
I mean, an option to take it out, and clean it up. If they ever do anything else, they gotta come do this all again. Or if it was R5, they would just have to survey up.
But aren't we doing the 40.43?
No, we're only doing 5 acres.
Just 5?
That's what I need,
Yeah.
this dimension for an area.
Just for an area. down
Oh,
in
just
the
that.
bottom right,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, I see it.
I'm just wondering, are you the owner?
40 now.
Did you ever think of taking the whole thing out and just doing?
Well, everything is news to me. I've been there for more than 10 years. I had no clue what farmland preservation was. I had no idea I was under it. And we did some investigating. There's supposedly a 10-year program and whatever, but.
Yeah, so that parcel was that parcel was likely part of a larger farm that had a lot of land within a farmland preservation contract. Even though they were in zoning, they had a contract as well. And that particular piece was included in it, but that being the case, that contract has expired.
Yeah, see, and I knew nothing about the contract. I didn't know anything about the farmland preservation. We have no intention on doing anything else. This is just a little 5 acres. I'm trying to give my daughter a place to build a house. And so, I mean, I'm totally fine with it staying in farmland preservation. The soil is not great. It's not the best farm fields. More rocks and more clay than I care to deal with, but you get good at picking rocks.
I guess we'll just
Stick with that.
Stick with the application.
Yeah.
Yep, stick with the
Would
application.
you show where the 5 is? It's on the bottom right corner, wasn't it?
Yeah, I do have a map also in the files here.
Okay,
Shows that.
let's just stay with that and then they can deal with it later if they have to.
All I saw was the application form. I didn't see there wasn't a map listed. I didn't see it either. There wasn't a map, it was just the
So
application.
this is, the shaded area is roughly that 282 by 773, which is like 5.004 acres. As you'll see, the map came out to 4.87, but that's just me trying to draw on our GIS. So it's not going to be right at that 5.004, but this gives you an idea of the area that would be rezoned to that RA5. And I believe, as you can see, there's a water body, waterway through here. So I think they're planning to build somewhere in that location.
Yeah. And the pond upper left kind of stays there year round. The lower portion of it is more than 50% of the summer dry, just swamp grass.
So then the lot, just so it doesn't make a setback by those buildings, would be the only thing when
Yeah.
you survey it, that they had enough setback.
Yeah, so roughly when I pulled 282, I think there was about 40 or 45 feet still to the barn. But yeah, that would be something, when the survey comes in, we'll make sure that that building's meeting the setback.
Okay. And it's not a county road, so the driveway will be right.
Yep, that'll be through the
That'll
town.
be the other thing, all right.
So is there even enough area to actually build a house and sewer and well, everything there? That's not swampy or mucky?
Well, it is kind of high ground between the road and that blue that goes across there. Again, the soil is not good. I had a mound system put in 2 years ago at the house. And we had to do some real searching to find a place that would accept the mountain. So I'm crossing my fingers that the kids are gonna be able to find a place in there. But we hope.
As far as setbacks to that water body, there is adequate area for a building, project area within that area. If we didn't allow holding tanks, then it would probably be, that would definitely be something that we would be looking at before the subdivision were to go through.
That's my concern with it. Because if we go through this and then it's not suitable to build, we did it all for naught.
Well, they can put a holding tank in. Same as that subdivision we just said. You know, each lot could have a holding tank if they can't get it to work, so. They could do that. So did we have any other correspondence from the township or anything on this?
No comments. We have the minutes where they approved it at the town. That was on Monday, August 11th, 2025 was the meeting that they approved the rezone request. Couple other things. Yeah, we mentioned it's on a town road, 280th Avenue. There are several wetlands and one unnamed body of water that we spoke of already. Right there, there's wetlands and undelineated wetlands throughout most of the property, as was kind of mentioned for the soil type there. Otherwise, let's see. None of the current structures will be part of the rezone. So this would be, everything rezoned would not have a current structure on that proposed portion.
So so it isn't surveyed yet, so it just have to have a CSM.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Any other questions, anyone?
That kind of looks like the bigger map that was more than 5 acres, but because I did some calculations, and if you look at mine, where my ends of the are, yours is more up here on there. And
It looks like you had yours at 452, which I think on the application you had 7.
yeah, oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, this might have been the 3 acre. Then I had it a dash line here. Yeah. So,
Okay, you went to 5. Okay.
yeah. The kids wanted the 5 for the loan
Sure, yeah.
deal on the home.
Sure.
And I'm like, why, you don't need 5 acres to build a house. And, but they wanted the
Equity.
extra acreage for the loan, I guess.
All right. So we have the township approved.
Correct.
We had nobody here to speak for or against except for the owner. Any other questions? And we can close this discussion then. All right, then we'll close the public hearing. I'll entertain a motion to move it.
Did Logan go through the rest of his findings, or are we gonna wait for that?
Oh.
Because I thought you had some other statements.
Yeah, there's, we can
Findings.
find these
Yeah.
here.
Usually for the district, not too many for a
Oh, sorry. I
zoning change.
Yeah.
So these are the findings that I have for the zoning district change. I think we went through majority of them. I have the date that the farmland preservation plan was adopted in there, and that the current parcel is not included in that. The county provided a proper Class 2 legal notice prior to the hearing and did not receive any public comments on this request. So conclusions from those findings would be that changing the zoning of this property to residential agricultural 5, RA5 is supported by the town of McKinley. This change in zoning districts makes the farmland preservation zoning ordinance map more consistent with the county farmland preservation plan map. And then below is staff recommendation would be to recommend approval of the rezone to the full county board.
Okay. I think we went through all of it.
Okay,
Yep.
All right, I'd make the motion. I'd move to recommend this to the consent agenda at the full county board for the district change from A5 to, or A3 to A5.
Okay,
I'll second it.
so there's a second.
R5.
I did say consent.
Yes.
Oh, I did, you're right.
That was-
R5, sorry.
That's on
I
there.
did say.
Yes, you did.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
All right, then, all those in favor say aye.
aye.
Opposed? Okay, that one moves on.
We got this.
So that will be, then you have to have it surveyed and stuff, yeah.
Yes, he had a survey lined up and then we found out about, the surveyor actually informed us that we were in that program.
Oh, okay,
So then it's like, whoa, what is that?
yeah. Now you're good to go.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes. All right. Let's read in the next one. We'll open this one up.
Mathey Construction Company requests a conditional use permit for the expansion of an existing non-metallic mining operation for 9.08 acres located at 1415 132nd Street in Section 23, Town 34 North, Range 17 West, Town of Balsam Lake. Parcel 006-00664-0700, and the entire parcel is 22.54 acres. We have the parcel pulled up on the map here. This section is the 9.08 acres that we were talking about. It was rezoned back in 2020. And they updated the reclamation plan at that time. But they didn't come through for the conditional use permit that's required when you're expanding into an area that wasn't a part of your original reclamation plan. So that's the reason they are here today, is to expand their operations into that northernmost part of the parcel there. Did you guys get the updated map after the folded one was sent out? Okay.
Yes, I think, did everybody else see it?
We saw it, but I didn't print it.
No.
You could hand.
We can pull it up on here too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
The area. Right. Pretty good line of sand and gravel.
So this shows where the existing pit water is. And then that north of there that they're proposing conditional use permit for to continue their operation. Mine expansion area. I guess maybe I'll pull up the town of Balsam Lake's letter that they provided first after we sent the notice to them.
Yes.
That's in the file there. Be under the letters. Fourth one from the
Yeah.
top.
Yeah. Deer Lake is.
If you'd like, I can read this letter in to the.
I think we should.
Okay.
Let's read it in, yeah, because we don't have a lot of stuff. We didn't get any other ones, did we? This is the only letter?
Correct, yep.
Okay.
So this letter reads, Dear Environmental Services Committee, the town of Balsam Lake has no objections to the construction company's request to expand the non-metallic mining operation at 1415 132nd Street, parcel 006-00664-0700. However, we would ask that the conditional use permit limit the hours of operation from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. There are residential homes adjacent to the property. In the past, the town has received a complaint from a nearby homeowner of early morning noise starting around 5:45 a.m. I called the gravel pit supervisor. He indicated their permit allowed operations to start at 6. With homes in the immediate vicinity, the town believes this is too early for operations to begin. Thank you for your time and consideration. Sincerely, from Paul Gideson, the chairman of the town of Balsam Lake. So that was the only comment we received from the public or from the town, this one being from the town. Otherwise, if you could pull up the findings, Claire, I can go through. That's kind of part of the staff report as well. So these are those were the old findings, so we may reference the bottom. Thank you. The parcel has access off of 140th Avenue, which is a town road. The existing land in that expansion area was mostly wooded with some grassland mixed in. There are 2 other pits adjacent to this property, the Wilson and the Gosser pits. There are no wetlands, floodplain, or navigable water bodies on the proposed expansion site. The reclamation plan has an end land use of passive recreation. The closest non-related residential dwelling to the property line is 40 feet from the north property line. We can go back on the map after a second here.
So where's
The town of Balsam Lake was provided notice on this conditional use permit and did provide a letter that was just read, record, regarding time of operation.
What's your setback?
Otherwise, we didn't receive any other comments from our class 2 legal notice. To go back to the map, I can show you guys where that dwelling is on the north border of the property.
What they're saying. Some of them are, right there. Well, that's the Wilson home.
It's up in the northeast corner.
Yeah. On
That
this map,
house?
it shows up.
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's up all the way to the north. And so this is the closest, what appears to be a dwelling to the property line.
How far do they have to be from the property line? I mean, how far can the mine go up north?
Yeah, so our ordinance states 100-foot setback is the minimum property line setback to the.
Okay.
So you're really looking at 140 feet.
So at least there'll be some buffer there yet with trees.
Right, you'd be looking at 140 feet. If the house is 40 feet from the property line, you'd be looking at 140 feet.
And you said the reclamation plan was already done?
Yeah, that was updated in 2020 when they rezoned the rest of that into mining.
So we have Dean here, have they started reclaiming some you said? Of the Walker pit, or are they
On
close?
this permitted site, they've done some on the parcels that are not owned by them. So
Okay.
there's 2 other owners on the south side that used to be part of the active mine site. They've done some reclamation there. Nothing has been certified as reclaimed. The Wilson pit to the west, which you can see on the map, kind of the
Yeah.
east-west part there, that's been graded out and planted, but hasn't been certified yet.
Okay. So most of them are doing their plans, I mean, so they are keeping up what's happening. Okay, that's good to know. Do we have any other questions? Yes,
I guess,
yep.
when you showed the home view, there was never any letter from them.
I didn't receive any correspondence from any of the neighboring properties.
And the letter clerk stated A.
singular complaint, didn't it? Said we received a complaint
From the town.
from the town.
From a resident. Town
Yeah.
received one, but they didn't say who,
Well, right.
so it's not a lot of complaints.
I guess that was my,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it isn't like there's every day. Owners or representatives, are you here? Do you want to add, subtract?
Really summarize what we're looking for. Happy to answer other questions.
That's,
Just the hours of operation, and just, do we take care of that now or is that later?
we would do that now.
No.
But I mean, we can close the public hearing and then decide if there's any conditions that we want to change or put on it. Because now, if everybody's spoken, nobody added or subtract, well, we can even do it now in case they want to rebut us or whatever.
Do we have a copy of their last?
The last one was during the rezoning, so it's a pretty shady one, but what,
Well, the town is asking for,
Seven to seven.
7 to 7
Right,
and
that's a-
8 to 7 on weekends.
does the last one say 6 to 7?
I think,
That's the question, I think.
well, we can change it to this if we want, I guess. What do the other pits have? What have we been usually doing? 7 to 7, isn't it?
Yeah, so if we could pull up the findings, what I included on this recommendation below was consistent with what we've had in our recent pit approval. Is 7 to 7, Monday through Friday, and then 8 to 1 on Saturday, and no Sunday operations is what has been kind of the blanket condition for mines, but
So the last one we did was next down the road about a mile.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was the conditions.
I remember the next.
So that might be something we should think so that they're all the same.
And we can do that with what's already existing and the expansion, right? Or are we just dealing with what the expansion and the other stuff is the same?
yeah, so I mean, the pre-existing area, there's never been a conditional use permit or anything on it because it was pre-existing and they can continue to operate underneath their reclamation plan.
Oh.
I think the condition would just be for this expansion area. From what I can see in the ordinance and
In the ordinance.
How do you?
What do you think, Joe? Can
I would agree.
it'd be hard to retro back, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Okay, that's,
I only asked for clarity.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah,
And,
Oh,
and,
definitely.
and do we know for sure that, like I said, if Nick's was the next one to the west?
Well,
would-
he's
if-
about a mile down the road.
Oh,
Was the
but I
last.
mean, yeah, but I mean, he's a separate one to the west.
Yeah.
Is he locked into 7 to 7?
He has the same ones, I think.
yeah, I believe, yes, like 240s over. So
No, I realize.
Yeah,
I guess-
but I think these are the numbers on his.
That's my question.
Yeah.
Because personally, I don't necessarily like the ideas that when the sun goes up at 5 AM in the summer and they want to get rolling and doing things, that we make them sit for 2 hours during the daylight. But if we've already established a consistency that the gravel pit 2 sections down, that's their rules, then I don't have as much of a hang up with making it consistent. That's my question.
They're all the same.
Yes. But I would like clarity that that is exactly what is on the other gravel pit.
Yeah, we could look it up quick. I mean, I'm 95% sure, but I'm not. I think these were taken right from their CUP, but is that something that we're able to do?
So
Get
is there
theirs quick or not?
crushing going on there? Or are you just screening sand or what is the operation?
It'd be stripping, crushing and screening.
Cause didn't we have something with some of the crushing ones too?
Yeah.
Weren't them, you couldn't crush between certain hours?
Well, some of them ran 24/7 when they went to different pits. You know, when they have a custom crusher come in, sometimes they just run her. So can we look that up? Well, I guess we can close the public hearing and still discuss, I guess. You know, so we're not dragging that out. Dane, do you remember any of those restrictions or not? You don't? Okay,
So search by owner. You want to,
but, it would be good if we stay consistent. If,
That's the thing, you know,
Yeah.
I mean,
or for
Again.
enforcement too, one can open
Right.
2 hours earlier.
that doesn't make any sense.
That's kind of
Right.
weird. To keep it consistent.
But if you can't go back, so are you done at the Walker pit or are you still,
We are still mine user.
still mining there? So you'll be expanding, but still operating that?
Yeah, and we're looking at the expansion because we're gonna be running on this reserves in that southern area.
What are their hours there?
So that's where that's where it's gonna be sticky enforcement is because that part can run
6 AM.
and that part.
Right,
Yeah, that'd be a tough one to.
right.
But still, if, I think if those are put on there, they would kind of respect it a little more, not start that 2 hours early. Because I think then it would be a nuisance or whatever, and then that would put it on the town board to fight that. Yes, sir.
I just looked up, you mentioned the existing site was grandfathered. There's no current hours of operation restrictions on it. So it is available to operate 24/7.
Okay.
Will comment that we don't have any issue with the recommended hours for that, but we certainly agree it's going to be fun with our operations to let them know if you cross this line.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Different hours.
Yeah.
We're happy to oblige with those.
Oh, okay. Well, there.
Okay.
And
That
look, yeah.
saves us all kinds of headaches.
in looking at the, you want to just?
Yeah, so the Walton pit up to the northwest of there has these same hour restrictions on there.
Yep, exact same. 7
Exact same.
7 PM, Monday through Friday, 8 AM to 1 PM Saturday, and no Sunday operations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's all of us kind of think that. Okay, good.
But Walton's all came in after this was originally done, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
what we're dealing with is only on the expansion area,
Yeah,
not.
right.
We're not
Anything that's
changing
already-
the
right.
Walker pit.
Correct.
Yeah,
So it'd just be the 9 acres, 10
Yeah.
acres that it's.
Recommendation over here, and up here.
But like now, they don't have any hours, and if they know they do it,
yeah,
if the town gets a lot of complaints, they'll be,
yeah.
the town can shut them down or whatever. All right,
So I guess one more thing.
let's go down through the conditions.
Okay, that'd be
Yep.
perfect.
Let's go down through the rest. See if they have any, with anything else.
So another, I did include the 100-foot setback to all property lines, just so it's also in the conditions, even though it is in our ordinance. That's something that I think has been included, so they're aware. And then another consistent is that the overburden berms and topsoil piles are allowed to be within that setback area. However, at no time shall stockpiles of targeted material, active extraction activities, or processing equipment be within the setback area. And the extraction area must be surrounded by berms, and the operator shall maintain the berm throughout the duration of the active extraction as submitted. So again, pulling kind of some general conditions from area pits, not knowing exactly what you guys are looking to do. So I just put in there crushing up to 3 times a year, but I guess that would definitely be up for discussion.
Logan, what does that mean? So like if you pull a crusher in and you run for 2 weeks, you can run 3 times for 2 weeks for a total of 6 weeks?
I would say, yeah, that would be.
Pulling in and running for 12 weeks. And
You run
operate.
it all summer.
And then, you know, yeah, that seems really difficult
Cause
to,
Matthew's probably gonna own their own crusher if I had to guess. So, I mean, can we still ask him questions?
Yes.
So
Yes,
the
still-
crusher just gonna sit there?
No, they're all mobile, so it comes up the stockpiles.
Okay.
Fill up the site and then move out.
Is 3 times a year okay, or what do you know, what have you been doing
They
there?
can
currently?
crush it on the one they've got now.
they can move everything to the other bit.
We're looking at getting in there twice. Usually we only need to get in there 1 time a year. But based on demand, it wouldn't be unreasonable to go in there 3 or 4 times.
So the 3 wouldn't hurt you, it wouldn't
Wouldn't hurt.
Purpose
be too
for,
tight. You want 4?
the purpose for a crushing restriction? What is the purpose for one?
Because of the
The
noise.
noise, the extra added noise.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess, my opinion, honestly, it would just be taking number 7 right out of there, because we could go in, like you said, we could go in there one time, sit there all summer.
Yeah,
That's it.
The difference, right?
What does everybody think? Just take 7 out,
I just take it out.
so it stays under their operating hours and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah,
In case they do just leave, but all right, let's just take 7 out then.
And typically they're only in there, like they said, one time off demand of what projects are for the next upcoming year. They'll put up a stockpile.
Yeah,
And once it's gone, and you end up going to another pit to find your gravel. So
sure.
very rarely, unless there's an extra state project or something that's put in the project queue, that they'll redo that pit again.
Okay. All right, so then,
I just have a comment on number 5. Are you guys planning to mine through that west property line into the gasser pit?
Yeah, we would at some point in the future.
So then I don't know if we would want to clarify the 100-foot setback from all property lines. It's
they own that, don't they? That next 40
an
owner?
entity that they're a part of owns the next parcel, and it's also included in another reclamation permit.
Oh, it is included in the permit
It's
already?
a separate reclamation permit, yes.
Oh, it is already, okay.
Could you pull up the map, Claire? The proposed expansion, just so we can get an idea of,
So that would almost be an internal lot line.
this.
It's this one right here, right here.
yeah, right.
So it's this,
Yeah.
that's, this parcel's underneath their plan.
So their current reclamation plan has in that green expansion area, 100-foot setback on the east property line and the north property line.
Okay,
But just showing a reclaimed flat floor to the west.
Okay,
I assume that they would mine through that property line into the adjoining parcel.
all right,
They
so,
can clarify it.
so we should clarify it that it'd be the east and north lot line is the 100-foot setback and not to the west. Or the south, because they're already open, so maybe we just change that one, that's a good catch, yeah.
Yeah, because they're already going up into here.
When they cross that, does something else happen? You know, because they're only doing the 9, do they come back to open that other side up?
I guess that one,
They have a rec plan,
that other one currently has a reclamation plan, and I'm assuming it would have grandfathered in or any restrictions in a separate CUP.
okay,
Yeah, so the pre-existing mining definition in our ordinance says if it's underneath a other reclamation plan, they don't have to come back for that
okay,
additional. So that's where,
Just for this.
that's why they're back here for this one, because they did get it rezoned in 2020, but didn't do the CUP.
CUP.
Whereas and it wasn't a part of the reclamation plan, so they updated their reclamation plan in 2020 to include this section,
Okay,
but didn't go to the conditional use to get it on there.
so this one wouldn't cover this next one either, would it?
No,
CUP today, only the 9 acres, it wouldn't do till they open that up, all right,
but you could, as Dane stated, do something with the setback, that would be within here if you're,
that we don't need,
yeah.
because they are owners, so we only need a setback from the north and the east lot line for now, on this CUP. Because the south and west is what they own. And be moving
Yes, versus all.
versus all, yeah.
Yeah, so I can
Yep, I think.
change that one.
Yeah, okay. What was left on the list? Then there wasn't much. How many conditions? There was only 2.
Claire, can we go back to the findings?
So is that other parcel to the west grandfathered in then as well? So can we, how are we gonna enforce your hours of operation? Cause if you only got a 9-acre strip out of there and you're gonna get access through that to get to that other, the way it looks, I don't know that you can actually, it's gonna be pretty tough to do that.
We still need to be consistent on new cups.
That's why I was asking if this CUP applied for it, but it just has a reclamation plan, not a use plan, a conditional use plan, does it?
Correct, but the way that pre-existing language states, says that if there's a reclamation plan on an existing
Property.
property or site that's been,
Okay.
that's
And that-
part of their plans to, whether they set the plans 20 years ago, their plan was to go into that area.
Expand some.
They don't need to come back.
Now they're getting there to it finally, yeah.
Because then you're gonna have different hours and you actually gotta go through the one to get to the other, cause I think you said the Wilson pit was just to the west of the Walker pit.
That's fine.
Is Wilson still owned by Wilson's?
Yeah.
So you'll actually be gaining access to that other one through the one we're talking about right now.
Well, we can only deal with our 9 acres and we'll, hopefully their hours and stuff will stay
Township's happy.
with it or whatever. All right.
I need to find that out.
That's gonna be not fun.
They need to.
Enforcement will be difficult.
Right, agreed.
If they do a lot wrong, then it's gonna be. So we took 7 out. We fixed number 5 to just the north and east lines.
So then you should fix number 6 too.
The berms are only on the north and east as well.
Yes.
Do you need a gated access on there because you're coming through the other pit?
Once they're off the road, it's private, so we don't get the.
Is there gated access at the initial entry for those pits?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And the first one said about all the permits and stuff and, we don't really have anything if it's a nuisance or complaints, do we, in there? But I think the township will
Yeah,
take care of that.
some of the additional ones below, probably need just some discussion on as well. If you could scroll down, Claire. To the next page.
Oh,
So I know this was a kind of the initial conversation that we started with Matthew, was about a possible temporary asphalt plant on the site. And this is normally what we put on our conditional use permits, but I don't know if we probably should address it now if you guys are still planning to do some sort of asphalt plant on there, or what the timeline looks like for that.
At this time, we don't have sufficient plans to move forward with an asphalt plant. I think in the future, we might contemplate looking at doing that. But yeah, I wouldn't have the information to give you right now, or to do so. I mean, unless this is something you are able to review and consider not including as a condition so that we could pursue that. I mean, do we need any other permits? If that condition were not in here, an additional permit be necessary to use that land for temporary asphalt?
I think they would they have to update the reclamation plan for putting an asphalt plant? No. Unless it were to remain as part of final reclamation, like it was gonna be a long-term site.
Usually they would
Yeah.
be just temporary projects.
Yes.
well, if they don't have a plan for it, we can leave, they can come back and we can go through it then.
Again,
Yes.
that's just on the 9 acres.
Yeah.
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 So it'd have to be that close. If they left it on the old part, they'd be all right.
More than likely, they'd set it on the Walker pit.
Yeah.
So
And the chances of them bringing a portable, probably with plant 5 just down the road, probably not gonna happen.
Yeah.
You're talking Lake Town or something like that, they bring in a temporary plant, but it's not worth probably the setup for them to do that.
They've
Never-
asked the question
But you know.
about putting one there. So I guess to some extent, there's some cost savings for it, but again, I haven't heard back from that division.
So I don't think I think we left it in, it wouldn't matter. Because they can do it to the, they wouldn't put it way up there anyway. They'd put it closer to the road. I don't think they'd put it up on that 9 acres and have to drive through all the pit to get to it and out. What does everybody else think? I think we
Getting
can,
back to consistency, that's consistent with everything else we've been doing, right?
that, yep, these are the ones that are always in there, so.
I just leave it.
Just leave it then. So the only other changes are that take 7 out we did and then fix that 5 and 6 for the berms. Okay.
17, I need to strike that too. I don't think there's,
Oh, yeah.
Do you need 18?
that's what I'm not sure if there's probably not a requirement of that on the other one.
We do have a
Is there any tracking pad there?
We have a paved entrance from
Oh,
our gate out to the road.
Yeah.
But we do
Kind of
have
see it on
Yeah,
material for a pack, right?
you probably don't need that.
Well, if they have one, we could still leave it in there because they won't need it for the 9 acres.
Okay, but we're telling them they need 200 feet of clean rock. They have it paved. It's not clean rock.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we
But
can
that's-
remove it.
But we're not, it's way up here.
Right.
I take it out.
We're right
But
here.
it's the driveway entrance.
I'd take.
So there is no driveway entrance,
would be
so
right there. Okay,
I
take it out. Either way, it doesn't matter.
Because again, we're dealing with the 9 acres.
Deal with 9 acres, not the
Yeah.
other part. That's the hard thing. Okay. So if it's in or out, it won't matter to them.
I think that's all of the,
Is that everything? Okay. All right then. We can close the public hearing. Findings of fact, whatever.
Yeah.
we kind of ran through the findings of fact. If there's anything you guys would like to add to this, and the condition for below. That recommendation was right above the condition. The staff recommends granting of the conditional use permit if the committee determines all the criteria have been met on the following conditions. And then I'll change those that we discussed, 5, 6, 7, and striking 17 and 18.
Okay.
We also considering the strikes the gated access too.
Yeah.
That was like number 8 or 9 or
12.
12.
Well, yeah.
Again,
For
gated
the
access
specific,
beyond the
yeah.
existing.
So the initial property already has gated access, so. No dual access, dual gate.
Okay. Everybody feel good with that, with the changes?
Yeah.
I'll entertain a motion. Yeah. Motion to approve with the changes. Okay,
Changes.
with the changes into the consent agenda, I bet.
CUPs don't go on the.
Oh, they don't even go on,
anymore.
do they? They don't go up there, so we're good. All right.
I'll
So,
second it.
second. All right. No other questions? All those in favor then say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Moves forward. Thank you. Yes, we're at 12.
We are.
Administrators report.
Yes, Mr. Chair, just a couple things here. Sales tax for August was down 3%. Overall, we're still up 8.9% from last year. So that's still looking positive on that. Two other things, they updated the playground equipment at the Apple River Campground. Our revenue was up at that campsite now about 80% of past.
About what?
80%.
80%.
Yeah, I mean, if you have time to go down there and check it out, you'll see the impacts. If you saw that campsite before, tremendous amount of upgrades and stuff with that. And then with our online reservation system and having to pay right away, a lot of the riffraff has gone out of there.
I was just gonna ask, they aren't stealing money out of the box anymore.
Right, so, it's been really good. The playground equipment looks nice. It's got the springy little things to sit on and go and, I think a semi-load of mulch went in there for the protection of the kids on the thing and stuff, so.
Did Brad approve?
If you get a chance, swing in there and just check it out. It's pretty nice the way it looks in there and, definitely you can tell the difference of the campers that are in there, so. That's been going great. We talked a lot about, Medicaid and SNAP and how Wisconsin have to review their process and the new law that passed in the beautiful bill, they have requirements, and if you have an error rate of going through there above 6, then they fine that. Polk County's in a consortium with 10 other counties. The state did an audit on us. The state error rate is a little over 7%, and primarily that's because Milwaukee dragging us down. Our consortium error rate is under 1%. And Polk County scored 100% with our background check. So hats off to economic support. Diana's group down there, they're doing a great job down there. So our consortium error rate is 1.5, just under 1.5. So, but yeah, our payment error rate was under 1%. So, I mean, their staff is doing a great job down there. So other than that, we're working on getting the budget stuff, the draft budget to you this September. We got 4 resolutions now going to general government on the budget, the recycling fee, the initial bonding resolution, which is proposed in there to keep our levy flat. So looking forward to those discussions. So everything's coming together with the budget and it's looking very positive.
So those are the only 2 resolutions right now going to Gen Gov?
There's the recycling, the bonding resolution,
Firefighter.
the firefighter resolution, and potentially one other ones that I gotta get with Joe Loso on. So.
Yep.
Just one question. I haven't been down there since the riffraff is out, but is the playground equipment down by the picnic area toward the river, or is it up by the pavilion?
It's up by the pavilion and the campsites.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go down there and look at it. Just
They did a lot of nice work a few years ago out there when they were clearing out trees and just.
Redid the pavilion. They had a
Yeah,
party.
it was really nice because we did a trip down there.
Yep.
It was nice.
And then,
Field day.
then the final upgrade for the D.D. Kennedy big project, the bridge, the walking bridge replacement is in this November. So Larson Construction will be setting that new one on there and that'll be handicap accessible.
I ain't going there.
Yeah.
I ain't going there.
Back over here.
No, I'm not. I'm not doing it.
Okay. That's all.
Brad's not here to make me this time.
Yeah. All right. Sarah, what do you have?
I have a couple things for the committee. Logan Hacker and I attended the last town association meeting on July 24th. It was a nice opportunity to discuss zoning and some of the ins and outs of what the town chairmen are looking for and kind of working through with Corporation Counsel's office on making sure we have some solid processes in place also to assist those chairmen, well, and just town officials in general. Our intern season has concluded. We had 3 excellent young adults in helping us with projects this season. The DNR Emergency Atlas was completed. And yeah, the amount of work that those folks assist our team with through the 3 months of summer is just invaluable. And we really appreciate the county board recognizing the importance and continuing to fund that effort. If you were at the county fair, you were able to see some of their efforts on display in the tents. And yeah, it was a real positive season. Keaton Tollickson, along with another positive, has joined our zoning team, and he is in his 3rd week and getting his feet wet and already learning and doing a great job for the division. So we look forward to having a full team in zoning. September 5th, Land and Water Resources is putting on a buckthorn training. We already have, I think, over 50 folks registered, and so it's another positive training that Land and Water Resources does. Eric will be doing the bulk of that training, and yeah, it just seems to be a popular training with our constituents.
We'll be using Dee Dee Kennedy for that training too.
Oh.
There's a fair amount of buckthorn there, so it's a really great outdoor classroom, and we'll control some buckthorn in the process.
Yeah, September 5th.
What's the new person? Is the new person replacing someone or?
Keaton Tollickson is the zoning specialist, replaced Kara Cook she was a zoning technician, so
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
And he will be a certified soils tester and POUTS tester as well. So private on-site waste treatment system inspector, not tester, sorry. Planning is underway for our county forest tour. Speaking of field days, we are looking at that October 15th date. We already have transportation organized. The plan is to depart the government center after your 9 a.m. convening here. We will agenda it like a typical meeting, I believe, if council agrees.
We're having a meeting October 15th too?
Well, I think legally we have to convene because will be a
quorum.
of your committee. So it'll be like a committee meeting. Yeah.
I can just notice it as a possible quorum, like we do other things.
Okay.
Yeah,
You shouldn't have to have an actual meeting unless
she just want to pay us, that's why. See.
if there's no decisions being made.
Well, the only thing would be on the October 1st meeting. If we did have any general business, we could quickly take care of any of that business before hitting the road. But if otherwise, I'll work with the clerk and council on that. That's okay, and keep you posted on the 1st. But anyway, preliminary planning is underway. We do have the 18 passenger van, so everybody will be able to go together. And we plan to depart the government center around 9 a.m. like a typical meeting. And then we will do the tour and then end at the Summers Lake picnic cisco for like around noon or so for lunch, and then try to be back here about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So Brent Cisco is getting ready to wow you all.
I might be the driver too.
County Forest.
Well, I'm disappointed. I'm
Feel
gonna
that,
miss,
Andy.
Yeah, try to get a speakerphone.
I'm gonna miss that. I didn't realize that because I missed the last meeting, but
Oh, shoot.
I'm gonna be in Japan.
Those sharing.
I would tell you to remote in, but that.
That'd be a little tough for them.
Video it for
I
you.
would really go.
Anybody got a GoPro?
Speaking of forest, we do have our annual forest meeting too that's been noticed. That's September 24th in the North Conference Room in the morning. I believe the start is 9 a.m.
And what is that?
That's it's a required DNR partnership meeting.
Oh, okay.
So we go through what I'm going to be doing next year. It's similar alignment to our work plan that I get approved for my forest admin grant. So
Okay.
we'll just there'll be Paul and then his boss and his boss and then maybe a couple other DNR folks, but anybody for Sarah and Tony usually comes to just on behalf of recreation issues. Recreation gets brought up a lot, but we go through all my timber sales that are ready in the hopper for next spring. And then they also have to approve my habitat grant money, the wildlife department, I guess. So someone from wildlife will be there too. It's more of a chance just to see what's going on too. So that's every fall, every year.
And then after that meeting on the 24th, we roll right into our countywide employee picnic that day. So that will be exciting. Also, just one final note as I try to figure out the professional networking for the Environmental Services Division Director. I will be attending my first WCA conference September 21st through the 23rd for networking, and there seems to be a lot of good topics for discussion throughout Wisconsin counties. So if you all are there, I'll look forward to seeing you there. That's it. Any questions for me? Thanks.
Okay. Our work plan.
Is the next meeting, isn't that October
First.
1st?
I know I mentioned the 3rd, and I was gonna reiterate that that was an error, and it is Wednesday, October 1st. I also wanted to mention that there was some alluding that a final plat needs to go to the county board. And actually in chapter 32, it appears that the final plat sits right here with the Environmental Services Committee, and that if after your final approval, it can get recorded. It does not need to go to the full county board.
Oh, that plat does, okay,
No, that language is right in the subdivision ordinance. The
okay.
final plat approval is here with the
It's
committee.
here with us, okay.
Yep.
All right, good.
And that will definitely be on the October 1st meeting.
Sure. So October is just the budget. The technical amendments, the tax deed stuff can kind of just be there.
Yes.
And the ordinance is always gonna be on there, all right.
You can push my annual works plan will be on there too next
Yep.
month. Paul couldn't be here today, so he wanted to be there when I presented it.
Sure, so the annual work plan for the forester will be on this October 1st, okay.
And then any public hearings that we might have for zoning.
Zoning, Eddie Cups or
None
rezone,
right now, no,
okay,
not that I can remember.
all right.
Here's all the fun stuff.
Land and water, you have anything coming up?
Mandated.
Nothing, man.
Thanks, guys.
Litigation update.
He's zoning.
Gonna be-
He's zoning.
Last month.
You got a tough job. Nothing,
Not anything.
isn't that something?
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Give me the water.
He almost choked.
Is there a second? Holy man. There, I got her now, no. Is there a second?
I could make that motion.
You will second? All in favor, say aye.
No.
Aye. None.
He wants to stay. So we won't be